Hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope you're having a good day, good evening, good night, wherever you are. My name is Matt, and this is ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. And it's yet another episode of Mattitude, where we talk about, you guessed it right, Eurovision. And I am so glad to be here with you tonight because we are the ones, the chosen ones, not to go to London Eurovision party, which is taking place right now. But that is okay. We can all be here together. Very sad that we don't get to experience this wonderful thing live. Instead, we can still talk about Eurovision because that's what we do here. And as you can see, slightly change of scenery where I'm at. I am in my living room. I had to set it up a little bit because I have a little doggy that I need to watch, and he needs to roam a little bit. He just had surgery. So not just, it's been over a week now, but still. So I am here to talk about the news of the week, of course, and there are a few other topics that we have on our list. And I hope for some audience participation because I need your input. And more about that in just a second. So, as always, please, before we get started, hit that like button on the video. I know you hear it on every video, but you don't even get how important it is in the algorithm. And of course, if you're not subscribed yet, do it now. And it's always greatly appreciated. We're only, a month away from the first semifinal of Eurovision. So there's still a lot of ground to cover. I see a lot of people hollering in the chat. So holla back. And yes, and I am feeling good. People are saying, although those who know I was sick for 6 months and then I was feeling better. And then a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I fell super sick again. But no worries. It was just a really bad cold. My immune system is still catching up. So I was a little bit more prone to getting sick, I guess. But I'm past the worst. I've been drinking plenty of tea and trying to keep myself as healthy as humanly possible. But enough of me. Let's talk about all the things that we love about so much. We got some ground to cover. And as always, questions in the chat at ESC United so that I can see them. And yeah. Also, by the way, I got a new laptop a couple of weeks ago as well. I'm still adjusting some of the settings. Sometimes it gets a little choppy. So if that's the case, my apologies. I'll try to switch to something else. But for the time being, that's where we're at. Now that we had all of that out of the way, let me bring up just a few things that I wanted to talk about. First of all, there hasn't been a whole lot of like crazy updates in the Eurovision world. As you know, for the obvious reasons, we don't get much on social media these days from the official Eurovision page. So their data and info is very limited, which just kind of makes it sucky a little bit. So that is certainly not helpful to get ready and excited about the season, but there's still a few things that has happened. Those who are paying close attention, they know already, but I'll jump right into it. There's some movement within the betting odds at Eurovision. Keep in mind, the main betting odds are only people putting down money on countries that they think will win the Eurovision Song Contest. So if one country is in 7th place or 13th place, doesn't mean they're expected to come in 7th or 13th place. It's just, kind of how the ranking works. That's why I prefer the qualification odds a whole lot more, which we're going to cover as well in just a second. But I'm sure most of you know that after the performance, I think it was in Madrid, the pre-party, when Switzerland performed for the first time their entry in front of an audience, which was very well received. It jumped to #1 in the betting odds and has now, ever since now, extended their lead. They're almost like 10 points ahead now, which is significant in the year 24 because we haven't seen such a lead in quite some time. Now, keep in mind, it is still fairly early for betting from a betting perspective. This is really just a small number of people putting money down. The big chunk has to follow as rehearsals kick in and all of that stuff. So Switzerland, currently the leader in terms of who is going to win the contest, still followed by Croatia in second and Italy closely behind in third. So that, of course, can all change. One of the things I wanted to look at more that I find more interesting, and I would love to hear your thoughts as well, is when you check the qualification odds and who people think will qualify. That makes it a little bit more interesting. Let's take a look at semi one real quick. I see that Croatia is still considered a lot. Actually, they're tied. Croatia and Ukraine to qualify. These are the two number ones, and I don't think that comes as a surprise. Lithuania is in third place, Finland 4, Luxembourg 5, Cyprus 6, Poland 7, Serbia 8, Portugal 9, and Slovenia 10. Slovenia at 58%, beating Australia, currently in 11th place with 54% of the vote. And then Azerbaijan, Ireland, Iceland, and Moldova. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well in the chat. Before I look at that, I will share my thoughts. First of all, I think for the most part, I can see the betting odds getting it somewhat on the nose. However, I refuse to believe that Ireland will come 13th in the semis. Mm-mm-mm-mm. This will be in. The question is, at what country's expense? That is the question. So, but I am almost certain that Ireland will go through, bar a really, really bad performance. I also will not count out Australia and Azerbaijan. They're both potential contenders. Australia often does a really good job staging, and Azerbaijan only missed the final twice now. So they have a great track record. So I would love to hear who you think should be in or should be out. I don't think Cyprus is a lock. Jamie Sandwich is saying, I actually don't disagree with you on that one. The problem is with the first half is that I think the most of the big hitters are in the first half. So there will be some casualties along the way because there's no way that every single song from the first half is going to qualify. And based on looking at the odds, that's almost the case, except for Ireland, I think. So, yeah, I think that there are a lot of songs. And keep in mind, I will also share with you in just a moment the 10 songs that I would love to see qualify. And you may disagree with that, but I still would love to hear your thoughts on that. And it looks a little different than the betting odds, actually. But Cyprus is definitely at risk. I do think that as beautiful as Serbia is, I think there is a chance that people will not click with it and it just be overshadowed by some of the other really big entries. Anything is possible. So I am not sure. But of course, once again, I that's not what I want. That's just, some of my early predictions. In particularly this year, since it is such an open field, I can there's so much wiggle room in terms of who may win and who may qualify. I think the betting odds may look quite different in a few um, weeks from now. Yeah, so that is one of the things that I've noticed. I believe that Luxembourg is a guaranteed qualifier. Last year, both of the songs performing last in the semi also won it. So it would be very odd for Luxembourg to not come at least 10th. That's my thinking. Going last is not a guarantee to qualify, right? We have seen songs occasionally not qualify from the last position, although more often than not, they do qualify. I do see Luxembourg as a fairly likely qualifier as well. There's the reason. I mean, they're considered fifth in the betting odds. So in terms of qualification. So I can see that absolutely happening. And just a song on its own merit, I think is strong enough to make the cut. But once again, this is Eurovision. You never know. And it is not an easy song to perform. I'll talk about that as well. Based on the betting odds, the scoreboard app, and opinions of several YouTubers, the NQ would be Moldova, Iceland, Ireland, Australia, and Slovenia. You know what? I still don't believe that Ireland is a non-qualifier. It's the hill I chose to die on. I don't want to die, so please, Ireland, qualify. Forgive me. I need to stay hydrated still as I'm recovering from my sickness, and that always comes first. So anyway, so I still think and once again, the only two songs that I will say right now are dead on arrival, as we all like to say, are Iceland and Moldova. Those are the only songs that I see very, very small chance of going through. Once again, as somebody said in the chat, you just never know. And so I'm not completely convinced. So we will see. And so let's take a look at the second semifinal real quick. If I know how to click on the right link. Here you go. So in semifinal 2, we also have a tie for first place. Netherlands and Switzerland are considered likely to qualify in first place. I can see that. Then Belgium, Greece, Armenia, Norway, Israel, Austria, Estonia, and Georgia. That means the song Georgia is at 55% right now in terms of qualification odds. Then there is a little bit of a gap with 44% in 11th place, Denmark, Latvia, San Marino, Albania, Malta, and Czechia, the least likely to qualify with 20% of the vote. Think there is hope for Denmark still. Denmark is a very interesting case in terms of like, it's a little like, on the safe side. Denmark is really good at this safe vanilla song. Every once in a while, this safe side thing works. Other times it's forgotten. And over the last 3 years, if you can go with a track record, it's not working, right? But I also see people actually quite liking it, and it's just squeezing in. So I think currently considered a borderline non-qualifier. I could see Denmark being a borderline qualifier, kind of like what happened in 2019, that kind of thing. Although nothing is for certain, I want to see the performances. But to go back to the current qualifiers chances, I also agree with most of them. The one that actually two, I'm a little Georgia is a borderline qualifier. I think as of right now, I have it as a non-qualifier, but that comes down to me listening to the song like 2 or 3 times and I still don't remember it. And I do think that other songs have more of a hook. But one song that I feel a lot stronger about making it through, people don't talk about enough, is San Marino. Because it's San Marino, I do think that the song, yes, may not be as mainstream as some people like, but it's going to be visually really, really fantastic. And I do think there is certainly a niche in the market for San Marino. So I see San Marino will go through. One song that I want to qualify so badly, like, it has to go through. But putting my personal interest and bias aside, I'm a little bit nervous about is Austria. We Will Rave is a fun song, and it needs to be in the grand final. However, this is not an easy genre to perform live. Don't you agree? And we've seen it before flop many, many times. I know she's a professional dancer. She said this will be a 3-minute dance break. I'm like, all well and dandy, but you need to sing well. And it makes me nervous. It makes me absolutely nervous, but I really, really, really wanted to go through. So those are the 2 songs that I'm a little bit nervous about in terms of who's currently considered to qualify. The other ones, I can see pretty safe bets. I would love to hear from you what you are thinking here. Again, based on several criteria and also the running order, forgot to mention with semi 1, the NQ would be Armenia, San Marino, Malta, Latvia, Czechia, and Albania. I'm a bit surprised that Armenia will go through. I mean, I know we can look at the data, so I just disagree with the data based on just, the merit of like the pure statistics, because, humans don't vote like machines. I think people will just be drawn to that fun, lighthearted song, and I think lighthearted and uplifting has been so powerful at Eurovision for obvious reasons. So, yeah. So we will see. I think Armenia is a very likely qualifier. I did say that they need to add more because it's too short, and I don't think it's enough time for people to get really excited. But I'm hearing they're adding a little bit of extra music because the song was like, 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that. So use that time. Use it, use it, use it. So other than that, I'm pretty okay with the betting odds, but they're like 2 or 3 outliers. I'm like, may not happen. But that is just where we're at right now with the betting odds. I will dive into that in a little bit, just a moment. Let me just go back here. As I mentioned, tonight is the pre-party in London. What's it called? The London Eurovision concert? I forgot the name. I've been there once. It was a lot of fun. It was probably my favorite event so far that I've been to. So I'm jelly of everyone is there. I know next Saturday is Eurovision in concert. And I personally do not watch the live performances that they post online, only because I don't I think the quality to me is just not that good, and it's really just more you had to be there to truly enjoy it. Some people like it, but I usually don't as much, so I don't really pay attention to those. Just I get all these pinks right now about the protests that are happening in front of the London venue, flyers being handed out, big signs, and all that stuff. So hopefully everyone is still having a good time there. But yeah, that is happening there right now as well, which is kind of expected, I guess, with anything that's related to Eurovision. Um, so what else is happening? Okay, I'm surprised that we haven't seen more votes from the OGAE voting. I think we only got 4 votes so far, and the last time I checked, it was like Spain voting, I think. And it's a tie between Italy and Croatia. And then Belgium was third, and which is a bit of a surprise, a pleasant surprise, but a surprise nevertheless. I would think by now we would get more results in. Now, again, OJE is only one set of votes. I don't always agree with, the actual outcome, although they got it pretty on the nose again last year. So, yeah, but it's interesting. I can approve of the current ranking of OJE, which often is not the case. That's what I've seen as well. So, yes, let me see what else we hear. Amina will go through. It has a large diaspora in France, Belgium, Netherlands. Yes, and even without it, I just think it's just the kind of song that just will click with a lot of people. The running order thing is just an excuse because good songs pass regardless of the position they occupy in the presentation. Yes and no. I agree halfway with you on that. I do think that if you have a good song, you usually qualify. However, there is an impact. It's just statistically proven, right? Number one, songs that perform early tend to do less good than songs later on. And also, it is proven that not everyone, there are more people watching by the time the last song performs than the first song performs. It's just a reality. You have a bigger pool of people that may vote for you if you perform closer to the end of the show. It's just a reality. And we cannot ignore the facts and the statistics that show it. However, the good thing is in the semis, all you need to do is come in the top 10. So whether you come first or 10th place, same outcome for you. So that is the thing. Like, even if a song that may have come first, if they have performed later on in the running order, comes fifth in the running or in the semis, same outcome because they're through anyways. But I understand that it's not always an excuse, especially in the semis. However, in the grand final, due to the sheer number of participants, there is just a reality that early songs perform less good. What do you think of the running order? Who do you think is hurt or helped? Now, that is a very good question that I would have to look up the running order real quick. We talked about it before, I think. Or have we not? I think I just talked about it online. So in semi 1, I think Cyprus is being helped going first because it sets the tone. So I certainly think that's going to work. I think Iceland really got the shaft here only because it was second half, I believe, and goes right after fan favorite Croatia. No one will remember Iceland after that festival that is Croatia. That would be one of my things. And then other than that, Serbia may be a little going second again, but it is different from any of the other songs in the first half that may help it. But it's certainly, the running order didn't help Serbia, I will say it. But I think the song is still strong enough to stand out on its own to make it through. Second half, I don't see that. I mean, Luxembourg really, got a huge boost going last, so that helps them as well. And Finland, again, it's just a big, big song in terms of like visuals and sound, and being surrounded by very low-key songs, Slovenia and Moldova. I mean, that's almost an ideal situation for them as well. Then in terms of second semi, anytime you have an opener, you can make a case it helps them. Malta better than going fourth or fifth. Other than that, that running order seems to be pretty solid. I don't see a whole lot of help or hurt here. I think they're all pretty well positioned on this one. So, yeah, it's more the first one where I see some benefits and disadvantages. Thank you so much, Nom Cavo, for the super chat. So good to see you, Matt. Hi, sorry I missed it, but can you update us on any news on press center rules in relation to live streaming this year? Honestly, there have been no changes from last year. There will be no live streaming from the press center if there's any sound or anything like that. So you will not be hearing anything from the press center. They, if anything, they tried to cut it more and more on, any sort of live streaming during those shows. So we will do the same thing that we did last year, which of course is less ideal, but we can at least give you an early scoop on what's happening. As a reminder, the individual rehearsals are now closed to the press. Only the first dress rehearsal, or all the dress rehearsals, I should say, are available for us to see either in the press center or in the online press center. But yeah, it's not going to be any changes. That's just the EBU is the direction that they have chosen to take. Thank you for the question, though. Do you think that Bambi Thug got the lower side of the stick in the running order? Does she still have a chance of qualifying? Yes. Fourth is not that bad. I understand that Lithuania and Ukraine are both popular songs, but at the same time, most songs are popular in the first half. So, and Ireland just stands out. Doesn't matter where it goes in the running. So it really comes down to, will people get it or not? Is it too much or not? So whether it's first, fourth, or seventh, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, or by who it's surrounded by. It really comes down to if people will get it or not. Matt, did you consider the big six? You raised a good point. Did you consider the big six performing between competing songs and semis? No, I did not, because it's not listed here on that thing. I keep forgetting where they perform. Let me go back to the first half and see. So after Ireland, we have the United Kingdom performing, right? So Ireland and UK back to back. Not, again, doesn't make a huge difference. Germany performing after Iceland. That helps Germany, because Iceland and Slovenia, two very slow songs. Germany is a little bit more mid, if anything. That helps the other songs to stand out and help people remember Germany, even though they cannot vote for it. And Sweden will perform after Moldova. Helpful for two slower songs. That is true. I didn't even think about that. I'm not used to that yet. And then let's see the second semi. France will perform after Czechia, and before Austria. That is the biggest contrast. France, Austria. Even though you cannot vote for France, you can vote for Austria. And I think it only benefits Austria in that case. That is true. But those are two very different songs, catering to very different tastes. Although I think they're both fantastic. Then who performs after Latvia? That is Spain. Before San Marino. Yeah, no big impact in my opinion. Then after Estonia, we will have Italy. Well, Italy, yeah, that is going, especially after Italy, we're going to have a ballad that is Israel. So yeah, that is, I like the running order overall. This is probably one of the best running orders I've seen in a while. So I'm a big fan. And I'm a big fan of the big six performing in full now during the performances. It only makes sense. Again, in a perfect world, we would not have them. We would have them compete in the semis. We all know why that isn't the case, and especially with how expensive Eurovision has gotten, it couldn't be done without them. It does suck, but it is just a reality that we live in. Absolutely. So, one more question. I think Ireland is not helped only by the UK being in the semi, but also Sweden. Bambi is the only half Swede in the competition. There could be a boost from the Swedish televote. I didn't know that. I don't know if most people will know that. I didn't even know until right now. But maybe if the announcer says it, who knows? People, we all have our bias. Not me, but everybody else. So, Matt, have you shared your top 10? Not yet. I am probably going to record it this upcoming week with Gabe and Roy, but I will do something similar today. So you are here at the right time, because I think this is a perfect transition to the next topic. And this is where I need all of your involvements as much as possible. So what I'll do is, and keep in mind, this is a live stream, and I haven't really shared, except for my initial reactions, which songs I'm gravitating towards and which not. So today, I will tell you who I think should qualify from each semi with some reasonings, and then I would love to hear from you as well. Keep in mind, this is my own personal taste, and very important, I want to add, is this is not based on any sort of like criteria. I did a list and all that stuff. I just did it based on how I like the song. If I were to wear a jury hat, it would look different. It would look a little different because I would have to reward certain aspects of the songs, which I'm not doing here. It's just the songs that just on the surface I like the most and I want to go through, not prediction and not the fan polls. I will have some controversial opinions here. So if you don't like those opinions, then please forgive, but that's just where I'm at. So, and then we'll go through this together. So, and I will give those to you in random order. So I don't want to give too much away. I don't want you to know which one is my first or my 10th at this point. I need more time for that. It was difficult enough to pick 10 songs from each semi. And then I would love to hear from you. So the first country that I will want to see in the finals from semi one. Let's start with that, of course. And oh no, I lost my camera. Hang on one second. This camera has been really, really crappy, my professional one. So every time I just move my laptop a tiny little bit, it goes away. So let me just move this. I'm using my internal camera now. So sorry about that. So let me go back here. So anyway, so the first country that I think will qualify, or should qualify, not will, that's different, that should qualify from semi one is Lithuania. And Lithuania, I can honestly say, is personally to me the biggest grower of the year. And I liked it the first listen. It was fun enough, but I really, really felt it the second listen. Then it really was like, okay, very, 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 very likely qualifier. And I need this in the grand final. And Lithuania in general has been a very strong competitor in the 2020s. It sounds weird when you say 20s. It sounds like I'm talking about the 1920s. I virtually loved, or at a bare minimum, strongly liked their entries. And this year is no different. So yes, Lithuania should go through hands down. And I do think that it's going to happen. And of course, just let me know in the chat if you agree. How many people of you think it qualify? And I probably should have changed. Yeah, the wording is should Lithuania qualify, not will Lithuania qualify, meaning do you like the song? Is it in your top 10? As of right now, after about 100 votes, we are around 97% of our audience is saying yes. And no, we're down to 96. Oh, but other than that, most of you agree. So that is very, very pleasant for me to see. So Lithuania has to go through, and that doesn't come as a surprise. The next song or country that I have on my list, again, it's not my number 2 or anything. It's just randomly, is Serbia. And once again, and I sound like a broken record, we need this in the finals. It's a mood. It's an absolute what a mood. The melody, it's just haunting, absolutely up my alley if you know anything about my taste. So if it were up to me, this would fly through. Woo! I'm a bit nervous though. I'm going to be honest. I'm a bit nervous because Serbia is so early in the running order. Not only that, it's in the first half. And not because usually it's a bad issue, but the first half in semi one is just packed with strong entries. And I'm worried it's going to be overshadowed. There's no way that every single song from the first half is going to qualify. So that is my concern here. But other than that, I think that this is definitely, it has to go through. For some reason, I am not allowed to do another poll right now. That's annoying. So just say it in the chat. Do you think Serbia should qualify? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat at ESC United. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, it is such a beautiful song, and hopefully people will be in the mood. But I'm still at the point, not a guaranteed qualifier, but for me, rooting. I have to end the previous poll. I thought I ended it. Okay, let me find it again. I did end it, but for some reason, maybe I didn't. And now it's gone on my end. This is annoying. All right. Well, I'll figure it out in a second. So I'm seeing the responses coming in. No, yes. So I think 2/3 say yes, and 1/3 says no. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I am on the yes side right now, but I understand some of the concerns that people may have in regards to the song. Let me bring this up here. So I'm going to bring up one more screen here. So that next time I'm ready. The third country that I have on my list to qualify, shocker, Croatia. And not much to add here, right? When it comes to Croatia, there's a reason it's the highest ranked song in the betting odds, at least for semi one right now. And I said it during my initial reaction. I think this is Croatia's best entry in over 25 years, since 1998. That's what's on my favorite Eurovision entries of all time. So that one's tough to beat. But if Croatia finishes top 3 this time around, that would be the best result ever. And that alone, I think it would be a huge, huge accomplishment for baby lasagna. I know some people talk about winning. I'm not saying it's out of the running. But I'm just saying, even if it didn't win and it comes top 3, I think that would be a huge, huge celebration. Stop it. My dog's now knocking down all my my stuff here. So yes, that is certainly a must for me. So let's see your thoughts. Should Croatia qualify, yes or no? I will check out the poll. You see, yes, yes, yes. Croatia will be good and will qualify no matter what we think. Exactly. This is an obvious one. It's not just even prediction. In terms of prediction, it's 100% in my view, but even my own personal taste, keep in mind that's what it is. It's it's wonderful. I love you, Matt. Sang once with Daniela on stage a song at no, you did not. I hate you. I hate you. I'm jealous. Oh man. Yeah, I think that was my first Eurovision memory as well, because it was the first time I saw Eurovision. I was still really young. And I was like, whoa, that's Eurovision? And then here I am. So yeah. It is, people can still vote for Lithuania. People are saying it disappeared on my list, unfortunately. So I cannot, I have to go maybe into the studio now. It's a little annoying because usually I could just do it in here. Okay, here I fix it now. I had to refresh my screen, I guess. So since we're delayed, I'm going to do, should Serbia qualify? Let's do this real quick. I know I'm like one country ahead. But hey, we're gonna we make it work. Oh, not it. I put in chat. Should Serbia qualify? Not will. Different story. Remember that. Vote your hearts out. So 89% in the end for Lithuania. Now that I see it, I don't know why it didn't come before. All right. Anyways, I'm hated by Matt. That's like the pin that you peaked. You peaked in live. So let's see what we're getting. 71% say yes as of right now. Let's get a few more votes in. On mine, it still says 71, down to 70. Okay, it's still a good number, but 71% have it in their top 10. So that is still a good sign for Serbia, I will say. I'm going to end this one now only because we're behind. So 69% said yes, 30 said no. Could be worse, I suppose. And then since we're already on it, let's start another poll. Should Croatia qualify? Yes or no? Now watch the haters come in here, which is fine, If you don't like the song and you feel like as an outcast, don't. I remember 2021 Italy when that was one of my least favorite songs and became the most popular one of the year. Doesn't happen often, but every once in a while I don't get the favorite ones. It happened in 2013 as well with Only Teardrops. That was in my bottom 5 probably that year, and then I won. So don't feel horrible in case you don't necessarily see eye to eye with the masses. But we are at 88% right now of our viewers saying, yes, it should qualify. Once again, it's only what you want, not what you predict. All right, I'm going to end the poll. Here's the final result. 88% said yes, 11% said no, and 1% disappeared, apparently. Now, it's just a rounding thing. I get it. So that's where we're at with Croatia. So majority agree this should qualify. Let's move on to the fourth country on my list. And as I told you, not everything is completely predictable in my top 10. But based on my personal taste, the fourth country on my list that should qualify is Azerbaijan. I like the song. I really like the song. Now listen, Azerbaijan entry on paper, though, is not the most competitive entry per se, right? But it's actually really, really beautiful. And I wish I wish they would have leaned more into more of the local sound, but nevertheless, I find this a really, really relaxing song, and I love to listen to when I'm on the couch, just chilling, and love the traditional vocal parts, and it's just so soothing to me. And Azerbaijan has a solid entry, may struggle in the competition. I'm fully aware of that. But this is not about who I think will qualify. Is if it were up to my taste, I would put it through. So I would just love to hear the same from you. Should it qualify? See, that's why I hate something about this thing. My now I cannot cancel the poll again. Ugh, this is annoying. Let me refresh. Oopsie daisy. Hello. Okay. Matt pushes the wrong buttons again. So, anyways, so yeah, I don't know. I refreshed it and then kicked me off. The results are actually not that bad. 63% of you, I think, believe also that Azerbaijan should go through. There you have it, 63%. And more than I thought. But I get it. It's not for everyone. Yeah. I'm glad that I'm not alone on this. I'm glad I'm not alone. Okay, so that's now 1, 2, 3, 4 down, 6 to go in semi one. The fifth country I'm putting on here. Oh, it's 63. No? Did I look at it wrong? You're right, because it put the majority vote at the top. Okay, never mind. You all canceled. You all canceled. Well, now I'm bummed out. I was like, yeah, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And no, I am. Okay, well, let's move on. Pretend that did not happen. Meh. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Song number 5. Moving on. The fifth country on my list is Finland. Once again, that doesn't mean it's my number 5, but should Finland qualify, I will say yes. And just look, we have to realize and accept the fact that no rules will be in the grand finals. And as you can see, I'm totally fine with that. I described the song previously as like a mid song, even in the year 1995. But the chorus is just insanely catchy. I mean, come on. And it has a certain fun factor, even though I'm gonna put off by it based on the staging, but I can't ignore it. It will stand out in the second half in particular, which I perceive to be weaker than the first half. And it will stand out in the second half. Even if it's a sore thumb, it will stand out. And I don't want to see this anywhere near the top 10 in the grand final, me personally, but I want to see it in the finals at least. But I understand why people would not want to see it. I want to have fun right now, and therefore I need to see it in the finals. Call me superficial. I don't care. Let's take a look here. Okay, the majority said no, 58%. I thought this will be more of a 50-50, a little closer, but hey, I can see where you're coming from. Again, it's not highest in my ranking, but I do like it enough. I do like it enough to for it to go through, because Okay. And I will answer some of the questions afterwards. It's just I got to keep going. Okay, so we're halfway there. Then let me bring up the next poll. The sixth country I have on my list, again, on my random running order, is actually Cyprus. And it's the opener of the evening. And so maybe that's going to help them, but Liar is catchy. It's just a catchy song, end of story. It's somewhat predictable, though. It's like, oh, I saw this coming kind of banger, right? It does not rewrite the history books. But every once in a while, I need some of that. It's a great opener set for the semi, and I enjoy it enough. And it's just like, I'm not overthinking it. Just have fun. It's, once again, totally based on personal taste. If I had the jury hat on, this may be struggling to be in the top 10. But that's not what it is. It's just fun. So come on. So I'll say yes to Cyprus. Let's see what y'all are saying. Oh, it's a little closer, but still majority, a slight majority. 53% said no. Okay, maybe we don't have as much of an agreement. And I see some of the comments just as I'm kind of browsing through it, scanning through it. Yes, it's a little bit the same, a little bit of the same. And I get it, totally get it. I'm kind of on the same page, but I had to pick a 10 and it was in my 10. It was enough for a qualification based on my taste. Okay, as I told you, there will be some surprises because some other songs will be left out. The next country on my list, we're down to 7, so 3 to go. My number 8 in random order is Poland. And Poland, you know what? This is what I don't get on this one. I will. Why aren't we more talking about this? No one seems to have a strong opinion about this song. Why Ellie Goulding would be proud of this one. It sounds like a song that came directly from her album. To me, actually, it's potentially one of the, if not the strongest mainstream pop song in the running. It just won't leave my brain. It just, it's just my kind of song. It got me. And I know Luna doesn't know how to play chess. We all watched the video. I'm like, not how it works. But hey, it's fine. I just have lots of love for Poland this year. And yeah, it's just that simple. I see people say it's underwhelming. It's okay. People call it generic. I don't find it generic at all. So, but maybe I just clicked with it. And it's one of the more played songs on my list. So yeah. So yes, 55, no, 44. There is a lot of I have a lot of like disagreement with people here, huh? Now all of a sudden. But at least it's a slight majority that is saying yes. People saying the vocals not always stable. I cannot comment on that. I haven't really seen a live performance. So that remains to be seen. But just on the merit of the song, I'm just obsessed with this one. Okay, we got 2 more spots left. I meant to put up the graphic actually, and I forgot. Should the next country qualify? I would love to hear from you because the country number 9 on my list, again, no specific order, is Portugal. And similar to what I said about Serbia, I will apply to Portugal as well. And the fact that Grido, that's the name of the song, right, is performing closer to the end gives it more of an edge and advantage. I know that this may not be everyone, and it's not like a sappy ballad that some people gravitate towards, but it's very fado and has a lot of unexpected twists and turns. With juries, it would be a guaranteed one. Qualify with televoters, I'm a little more nervous, but there's so much feeling and storytelling just in the melody alone. And yes, it's heavy, but at bare minimum, grand final, bare minimum. So yeah, Portugal has to be in. Absolutely. And these results show how unpredictable this year is, and I like it, RJ. Yes, it's not quite as obvious, right? Some of the poll results. Let's take a look at the final results. For Portugal, yes, 60%, no, 39. So that's a pretty good number. One of the better ones, actually, except for the big hitters like Croatia and Lithuania. So yeah, very interesting. That means we only have 1 slot left. And who is the last country that I have to see in the finals? Well, I don't think it comes as a big surprise. It's Ireland, and you don't think I'm going to leave them out, right? I mean, no way. Didn't fool anybody here putting it last. To me, best Irish entry since I started watching the contest. And that was in the late 90s, as I pointed out. This is absolutely, for me, the song was like written for me with Matt in mind. You all know that I gravitate towards rock, metal, inspired songs, if done right, that is. And we never had anything like Doomsday's Blue at Eurovision, and the world needs this in the grand final. So I need it. I know it's polarizing. People will hate it, but a lot of people will love it. I'm on the love side, of course. So a lot of people, Ireland is horrible. Ireland is horror. Hell no. I say hell yes. So yeah. People are like, Matt, you like Gothic, but you dislike Maneskin. No. So first of all, I do not dislike Maneskin. That is a very important point. I think they're a fantastic and talented band. I've listened to a lot of their other music. I just don't like that song because it is the same riff, the same chords over and over again, and it's driving me nuts. That's like it's. I just couldn't listen to it anymore. So, but I love a lot of their other music, just not the one that they decided to send to Eurovision. So I'm like, even like their remakes of certain songs from prior artists were so good. So they are fantastic, just not the song, the one with 56 said yes, 43% said no. So we have a majority believing that Ireland should go through just because it's unique. I think it's just great. I think casual viewers outside the bubble won't like it. See, Stefan, I think the opposite. I think it's not a bubble-friendly song, Ireland. This is not the kind of music that the Eurovision bubble likes. But outside the bubble, I can see this one going big. So I have the opposite. You don't see that much excitement about Ireland in the betting odds. Well, in the betting odds neither, or in the fan polls. But there are a good amount of people who love it. Like it's really high up on the list, or it's really low on most people's list. And I personally believe that there will be a lot of people actually, especially with the potential of great visuals, do really, really well. I think Matt should have a gavel. Boom. Yes, I'll have that next time. Off to Amazon. So that you can see. So just to remind you again, the 10 songs that I want to see go through: Lithuania, Serbia, Croatia, Azerbaijan, Finland, Cyprus, Poland, Portugal, and Ireland. So the 5 songs that I do not have in my personal top 10 are Moldova, Iceland, Slovenia, and Australia, and probably the biggest shocker, Ukraine. I know a lot of people love Ukraine this year. It's always high in the betting odds, Ukraine right now, but also in the fan polls, I don't click with the song. It's too repetitive for me, and it's at a tempo that I don't click with. It just kind of just drifts off after a while. The rap part to me was unnecessary. It works better in the Swiss song than in the Ukrainian song. A lot of people connect with it emotionally. Doesn't grab me, unfortunately. Australia I have a big caveat. Both for Australia and Slovenia, I have a big caveat on there. Even though I don't have them as a personal top 10 right now, if you were to ask me what I would predict, I think Australia will go through. I still think they're going to do great staging. Slovenia has the potential to go through as well. Just right now, as the studio version alone, neither of these songs click with me as much as I would like to. Some people in the chat at least agree with me on Ukraine. Should it qualify 100%? Like, I really just 100% base it on music. It's, my liking. It just was probably my number. Was my number 12 probably. I don't even know. I didn't rank the bottom 5. I just knew that they would not be in my top. So you want me to do polls for NQ? Okay, that's so much work. You're gonna put me to work. I don't have all that kind of time. But it's only fair, I guess. You're right. We hear all about fairness. No, I don't have time for that because I'm running out of time. But you can just say in the chat, maybe after we did the semi too, because I got to jump to that one real quick. Okay. So let's talk this through, because we got semi 2, also fantastic songs. Who should go through according to my taste? Not my prediction. Once again, in no particular order. The first country that I have on my list, and I will have some surprises here as well, But the first one is not a surprise. It is Switzerland. And Switzerland, I mean, duh. I don't have anything to add. It's number one in the betting odds now. I'm not ready to call this a certain winner, though. I will tell you this. I'm not there to say, yeah, this is sure the winner. But it's just wonderful seeing Switzerland lately frequently being up there in the discussion or the betting odds as favorites. And this song is just wild in so many different ways, and I'm here for it. And he sounds so great live, and with the right staging, this will go far. I mean, it'll be high up on the scoreboard next month in terms of winning. I'm not quite there yet, but it will do really, really well. So, and rightfully so. So let's take a look what y'all saying about Switzerland. I hit ends. Uh-oh. I may lose you guys again. That's what I hate. Oh, no, there it is. 88% said yes. 11% said no. So 11% don't get the song, don't have it in their top 10. And it's still a fantastic result for Switzerland. Okay. Let me start the next poll as I'm bringing it up. The second country that I have on my list, I think based on some of my prior comments, you already guessed it, is Armenia. And yes, there are a lot of la 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 lay, la la lays. And we get that a lot. And usually that is something, a death wish for me in terms of my ranking. But it's obviously implemented perfectly here in the song. Because it's more of a sing with me, you know, and the light-hearted song of this feel of the song, the traditional sounds, it just makes actually sense here. I still said that add a little bit more time because the song is too short, and what I'm hearing there will add something. So nicely played, Armenia. I see in the finals. I feel pretty good about Armenia's odds. So it has to go through. It has to go through. Let's see here. Oh, I see the initial results coming in. What? No. What? I'm just creating some suspense here and poll. So you'll see the results in just a second. Yes, 68%, no, 31%. Once again, this is not prediction. This is based on your taste. So 68% of you have it in their top 10. All right. So far, you're kind of agreeing with me. Thank you so much, Igor, for this super chat. Thank you, as always, for your time and your passion. You're true to visit me next year here in Zurich. Well, you need to give me more than that if I have to go to Zurich. I mean, who can afford that? I'm kidding. Don't. I was just kidding. But that's my only fear, you know, going to Switzerland because nobody can afford it. But other than that, it would be fantastic because Switzerland borders my home country, Germany, you know, so that would work out. Anyways, let's move on to the third song on my list. Is it a surprise or no? The third song on my list that I say should go through is Belgium. And Belgium, not a surprise. I know some say that song gets repetitive after a little bit, especially at the end. But to me, like the counter melody that it adds to it makes it not boring to me at all. It's a good melody, good vocals, and hopefully good staging. It's always a big question mark with Belgium, but will catapult Belgium straight into the finals. So yes, Belgium has to be in the top 10. End of discussion. I don't know if you want to put a poll up. This just, you know, has to be in there. So yes, I like it very, very much. I see people saying it's a good song, not a winner. Fair. We're not talking about a winner here. It's doing very, very. Belgium is doing very well every year. They're certainly more of a player because there was a time where they were not, right? So are the live vocals good enough? Some people are asking. I don't know. I haven't watched the performances yet. He's performing tonight, so right? Is he here tonight? He was in Madrid as well, right? Or was it Barcelona? I don't even remember. So yeah, it is certainly more of a mood. If people don't feel the mood, you know, but no matter what, it's just good enough. So 85%. Whoa, that's a big number. 85% said yes. 14% said no. So a clear majority thinks this is a qualifier, and his vocals in Madrid were good. So then nothing to worry about. Okay, 3 down, 7 to go. The fourth song I have on my list, and if you watched my reaction live stream, you may be surprised to see it on there, but I had some time to marinate over it. The fourth song on my list, or country, is Latvia. And yes, I had some initial issues with it, accessing the song emotionally. But I just like the vibe of the song, and his voice is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. This has to be a potential climb up in my ranking as well. It has already started doing it. It would be nice to see Latvia in the grand finals. You know, it's been so long. What, 2016 was the last time, if I'm not mistaken. They have been delivering some interesting songs, but they're always just like kind of just below the mark of what we were expecting. But I do like the song, and yes, it's not necessarily the most emotionally strong. Like sometimes when you have a ballad, when I gravitate towards a ballad, it has to touch me and really grab my soul. And while I'm not quite there yet with Latvia, I can acknowledge some of its other very strong assets. The voice, you know, there's certain artistry to it that I'm really, really appreciating. In my mind, Latvia is the primary shock qualifier. Yeah, Latvia suffers from the fact that we don't have juries. I think the juries would really, really like this one. So if Latvia makes it through, I think they have a chance to do decently in the finals. But the problem is getting the televoters on their side. Now, what do y'all think? Ready to see the poll? I'm in the minority. 41% said yes. 58% said no. I get it. I get it. I totally get it. But I've been just kind of like just feeling it, absolutely feeling it. All right, so that's my number 4. Let's talk about the next one. Country number 5 on my list. Again, no, I'm typing right now, so the 5th one on my list is San Marino. And we talked about it before, so no shocker here. But listen, Megara, they were my favorites in Benidorm last year. So this shouldn't come as a surprise that I have them in my top 10 here. Now, Arcadia from that year may have had more of a catchy tune and an instant hook that 1111 does not have per se. But at the same time, I will say this song seems almost more authentic to them. So either way, with interesting staging, I think great things in store for San Marino. And yes, this is another not for the Eurovision bubble kind of song, but as you said, I like that kind of music. So I would be happy to see Megara in the finals. I watched the performance in the national final. I love the staging. I really do. I hope they're going to put something similar together, just more grand. Um, but we'll see. Okay, I see the results of the poll, and whatever, y'all. Whatever. It's okay. You're wrong. No, I mean, that's just taste, of course. Only 1/3 of you agrees with me that want to see San Marino in the finals, and I'm doing a really lousy job trying to convince you otherwise. So vote San Marino. Now, you do what you want to do. I like it, but I think people are sleeping on that one as well. There are other songs that I like that I don't think will qualify, and I think that may be the case for my next country on my list. So the next song that I want to see in the finals, I have a feeling I will be overruled on this one as well. Czechia. So listen, keep in mind that this is all about based on my taste, not predictions, because Czechia is last in the betting odds, and I don't expect Czechia to qualify. But if it were up to me, it would go through. And I think there's a great case to be made that they're in trouble, but the song has a very huge 90s grunge feel to it and inspired. And that takes me back to my childhood. The 90s are my decade. And call me biased, but we all bias, I guess, right? So this needs to be in the grand final. I really like it. So it's a yes from me. And I would love to hear from you as well. As I'm kind of scanning through your comments, it has grown on me. At least I remember the song. And it's on the safer side, so it's a no for me, even not considering the questionable vocals. Czechia struggles with the televote when it is very competitive. Matt, I will not overrule you. Thank you, Alibox. Thank you. Now keep in mind, if I had to predict, I would say no. But if what I want, it's a yes. Let's see how badly I'm being overruled here. Yes, 43%. No, 56. So even though I'm overruled again, at least it's not like a landslide, I guess. So we'll take that. Let's see. I mean, it's not a prediction, so I don't expect much unless the staging really wows me. Okay, moving on to country number 7. Get ready. Well, if I knew how to type here, it would go faster. I have my glasses on, so it makes it more difficult as well. Okay, the 7th country on my list is Greece. So Greece, keep in mind, the only problem I have with the song is actually, and I just cannot shake off this feeling when it comes to Greece. I don't know how to put it in words even, but it's basically, I feel like the producer, whoever put the song together, said, let's put a lot of sounds in there that foreigners perceive as being Greek, so they love it, right? To appeal to us. But hey, it's working for me, so who am I to judge? Yes, it's crazy at times, and it's maybe a little insane, but I sit here and go, da, 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 da. It just won't leave me. And I just can't escape the magic of the song. I can't. And it's not clicking with everyone. I've talked to people and I get it because it's a lot. Like it's a lot. I like it. Okay, let's see. Lots of yeses in the chat. Greece annoying. Sorry, the song sounds more South American to me. I love the Greek song. It sounds a bit Hindi. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It didn't sound even as Greek to me as I thought it would. But it felt like people will think it's Greek. So let's put it in there. Let's see here. End poll. Suspense. 70% said yes. I figured it would be a majority, but I didn't think it would be such a significant number of people saying yes. So Greece, very popular this year with the fans. And finally, you're agreeing with me. Okay, so next one. That one I'm really interested in what our audience thinks. So the number 8 on my list again in random order, Estonia. Now, when I did the live reaction a couple of weeks ago, Gabe and Roy both were there, and they both were under the impression that I was going to dislike the song. And here I am, a big fan. So they were really wrong. Big fan. I said it and I'll say it again. My initial reaction was this has the quality or the potential, I should say, not a guarantee, but the potential to be the next trending tool. Like completely not being mentioned in like pre-conversations, pre-rehearsal and stuff, and then just really becomes a cool party song. Now, this is a little bit darker than like Trending Tool, so it's maybe not completely comparable, but the dance is everything. And Estonia, I'll be rooting for you quite a bit. So Estonia is a yes from me. So send them through. Let's see how many of you all agree. Estonia, really awful. I understand because maybe I shouldn't like it. I do it. It feels modern and it's at the same time a bit of an old touch. Yes. Oh, that's a very good. It has like a little mix, right? An old meets new kind of thing. So I like that comparison actually. Televote winner, somebody is saying, wow, they're like, I see just some of the comments here, opinions all over the place, which is good. Makes it for exciting Eurovision. Let's take a look at the results. Yes, 65. No, 34%. I'm pleasantly surprised that y'all have a more positive opinion. This is a bigger margin than I expected. So that is good. I like it when people agree with me. And the 34 that don't, what else? Now, I respect your opinions. I'm just a teaser. Okay, who else is on my list? You got 2 more left. The country that I think should qualify for the grand final in semi 2. You can take a deep breath. It's the Netherlands. And I know. Look, I got so many messages from my viewers and some of the fans that were disappointed, being under the impression that I don't like the song. I didn't have such a strong reaction. First of all, I do like the song. I do like the Dutch entry. It just personally wouldn't consider it a top 5 candidate for me. But it's fun, it's catchy, it stands out, and it's more of a roller coaster experience for me. Certain parts of the song, I'm like, yay! And the other parts, I'm like, I'm good. But it would be sacrilegious not to see this in the grand final, right? Come on, come on. Who am I kidding? Of course, it has to go through. So yes, the Netherlands just has to go to the grand final. While the votes are coming in, no, no, no for me is a big no. Wow, Netherlands are gonna win Eurovision. Big no. It's Euro trash. You change your opinion. Thanks, Matt. It's not that I changed my opinion. I just refined because keep in mind, when I reacted to the song, I was like, it's good. It's just, I applied the same logic to Finland, which I also said should go through. They're a little bit mid songs for me in terms of like 90s retro songs, but they're not bad. They're good. And they have some catchy tunes. So there certainly should be at least in the finals. I think just the hype, maybe I wasn't quite as big on board with it, but it's still a good song. So the Netherlands has to go through to the grand final. Let's see end poll and see the overall results. Yes, 73%, no, 26%. So a significant margin says yes. But I understand some people say cringe and they will not go for it. Yeah, I understand. But no, it has to go through. Come on. Come on, y'all. All right, I got one left. Who is it? I tell you. And then I will talk about the non-qualifiers as well. The 10th country on my list, again, doesn't mean it's my 10th place or my first place. It's just what it is. But it's Austria. We will rave for sure, y'all. Still believe that this would have been the superior opening song. I don't know why they didn't choose it. But hey, as long as Austria's in the grand final, what do I care? I'm a bit nervous about Austria as well because it's a specific genre that is difficult to execute live, right? We've seen it before where these kind of songs flop. And so my predictions are we will see instead of we will rave. And but based on my personal taste, we'll see this banger perform on Saturday night. And I'm also concerned because she's like, this will be a 3-minute dance break. I'm like, this is a song competition, not a dance competition. But it'll probably be a feast for the eyes. So that is who let's take a look at the poll. What are people saying? Do they agree with Austria? Yes, 63%. No, 36%. Kind of a little bit less than 2/3. Still a pretty good number. Not, too shabby. I see a lot of people already pointing out something obvious. Norway. Norway is not in my personal top 10, y'all. If this were my personal taste, Norway would not qualify. Now, ask me the question again. Will Norway qualify? Of course. Look, Norway to me just doesn't jive me out. It doesn't work for me, the song. I know what they're trying to do. The first 30 seconds are really pretty. After that, it loses me. So I'm not crazy about the song, but I'm fully aware that this will sail through to the finals. But again, this is not a prediction list. This is what I would want to see go through. So keep that in mind. Do you think Norway will qualify even if you don't want it to? Well, yes, yes, of course. As I said, it will go through. So don't you worry. I feel the same as you, Matt, on the song. Crystal is saying, and did I put up the poll? No, I didn't put up the poll. I'm so sorry. No, I did put it up. Right now. Okay, I didn't. Sorry. I was like, I know we didn't. It's not non-qualified. Of course, I didn't have a poll. I suck at life. So yes, so at least some people agree with me where I'm coming from, right? Keep in mind difference between what I want and what I think will happen. So the other songs, of course, that I don't have on my list in the top 10 are Georgia, Malta, Denmark, Albania, and Israel. These are the songs that I do not have in my top 10. Anything is possible. Again, this is a very competitive, and there were several songs that I think are likely qualifiers, even though they're not in my personal top 10. So that's where we're at. Do you suck at live or live? Live, L-I-F-E, but that's just me being silly. Norway studio version didn't click with me. The live performance blew me away. I only saw the live one, so again, it just doesn't click with me. It's just that simple. Do you think Ulveham could be polarizing the same way EIA was? EIA was not polarizing, though, unfortunately. I mean, most people didn't vote for it. It only landed on one side. I do think that Ulveham maybe you could make a case, but I think it has more appeal than EIA. I think a more broader appeal. So that's what I'm thinking. Do you think that Australia should qualify or could qualify? Sorry if you already covered this already, came in a few minutes ago. Yes. So I don't have Australia in my personal top 10 right now in the semi, but if this was a prediction poll, I probably would have it as a borderline qualifier. Yes. So right now I would predict Australia to go through, but that's not what we're doing here. So yeah, that is my prediction for semi 1 and semi 2. Let me just drink something. So once again, nothing but love and respect for all parties involved. This is just based on my personal taste. Thank you so much. Whom shall I vote for in semi 2? Don't ask me. I know, unfair to ask you that, yeah. But you also name the one you are mostly afraid of losing. That is a good question. So looking at the list, I feel confident about Switzerland. I feel confident about Armenia. I feel confident about Belgium. Not confident about Latvia. More confident about San Marino. Not confident about Czechia. Greece confident. Estonia, Netherlands, Austria. I think right now I'm mostly nervous about Austria because Latvia and Czechia, I don't even think they're going to make it, so I don't even have any hopes. Austria, I think, has a good chance of qualifying, but also flopping. So on paper, that would be the one that I would pick. I'm mostly concerned about. So, yep, that is my answer. Who of the pre-qualifiers do you think would make it if they had to compete in the semis? I don't know. See, now, gosh, you're making this very, very difficult for me because now you're making me piss off more people. I think that wouldn't make it. I mean, you can always raise the case for Germany that this is too mid. Although I think that it's being played on the radio quite a bit in other countries. So I think people maybe underappreciate Germany a little. I'm still not convinced that Spain will have a huge, broad televote appeal outside the bubble. UK comes down to the live performance. So those are the ones I would point out. Yeah. But that's just my opinion. And we'll talk about that more in a little. I just want to go through one more thing here, and I will maybe do polls as well. I'm not going to spend as much time on it and justify every opinion here. But what I will do is now, and I hope you all join me, is oh wait, before we do that, look who's here. Hi. He just had surgery a couple of weeks ago. Hi. Oh. Say hi, Gaston. So that's why I'm just sitting in the living room so I can watch him a little. So the next thing I wanted to do is compare 23 and 24, which song I liked better. And then you get to chime in as well. Okay. So we're going to go in random order with the countries. I haven't even decided on it yet. I'm just doing that on the go. I just put them in a randomizer and we go them one by one. And I will ask in the chat as well. So let's start with Malta. Which song did I like better, 23 or 24? Then you get to vote as well. I have 23 on there by a landslide. I am still not cool with Malta not qualifying. It was one of my favorites last year. So bummed out that, hey, do you want to dance? That was a banger. Banger. Justice for Malta. So I'm not going to spend, you have to vote fast. So let's go. Because, we got to move on. We got 62% for 23. So y'all are on my side. Yay. That's the first vote for 23. Next up on my list, I have Sweden, the winner. So We got Lorraine, the winner, versus the unforgettable song. So this one to me is again another super easy one. It's Tattoo. I mean, this year's song is just not for me as a whole lot. Tattoo was great, was in my top 10, of course. So um, I have a feeling the poll will be similarly one-sided here. I could be wrong. Maybe more people like 24. Who knows? Um, I will try to remind you of every song that came from 23 as well. Some people don't remember. So you have only a few seconds. 3, 2, 1, and poll. So right now, I think 23 is running it away with it. We already got 2 for 23, right? Yeah. Landslide here, 78% for Tattoo. Although there's some folks who prefer this year's host entry. So that's interesting. Who is next on my list? Oh, yes, it's Denmark. So Denmark, I think they're both a little forgettable, right? Breaking My Heart from last year, right? Versus Sand this year. I don't have a strong opinion on either entries per se, but I think I prefer last year's effort. Only because it's just catchier to me. No, 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 no. But again, this is not like a could go either way. Neither of them were like high up on my list, but I prefer 23. I see a lot of Sand screaming in there. Sand does not click with me at all, but hey, I get it. But I get it. We're talking about, probably two not as competitive entries. 3, 2, 1. What? What's up with you, Paul? 74%, 72% said 24. So I'm certainly overruled on this one, but that is okay. I have 3 23 ones now, so this is not going well for 24. Let's see if that's going to change. Who's next? Oh, okay. I'm typing it up right now. It's Serbia. Serbia, I like both entries quite a bit. I cannot turn my back on Luke Black. I love that song to bits. I have to pick 23 again. Oh, this is not going well for 24. I just love that song, and I should have done better. So for me, 23, but they're both good. But, gun to my head, it would be last year's effort. Oh, the results are very interesting. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. Here comes the results. 23 gets 53%, 24 gets 46%. So in a closer race, y'all agree with me. But yeah, I understand this one, like, they're both good. They're both good. So it's a good problem to have. Okay. But I only have 23s right now on my end. This is not going well. Who's next? Slovenia. I think you have an idea based on my just prediction thing that I don't have Slovenia in my top 10 for that semi. And 23 was a good song. So this is not going well. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 votes in a row for 2023. So I would love to hear how you guys are holding up here. So for me, it's 5-0. Not going well. But let's see how Slovenia will fare. Joker out. You mean like Joker out in? Because you want them in, right? So yeah, but I agree. Joker out from last year was better. 3, 2, 1. Matt is stuck in the past. I know. I am. It's not cool, but I cannot lie. But a significant majority agrees with me here. 64% prefer 2023 over 24. So the overall poll is a 4-1. I have a 5-0. Okay, next up on my list, people screaming out country names. And I randomly selected them, so I'll go in order. The next song on my list is Czechia. I like both entries there, but I can finally give my first point to 2024. Last one was so artsy and fun, but just based on personal taste and re-listen value, I would go with Pedestal, to me personally. But I anticipate that 23 will win this one by a hefty margin in the poll here. I just like 24. But we'll see. I'll give you 3, 2, 1. Let's see. Oi, that was also not a close race, but I was overruled here. Only 22% of y'all agree with me, but I get it. It was a great song last year. It just comes down to personal taste here. I preferred 24, and finally I'll get to give them a point here this year. All right, let's move on. Maybe 24 will get another one. Who is next on my list? Check. Oh, it's Iceland. So with Iceland, I 23 again. Yes, I had to think. Because I can't even think of the song right now. 23. My brain. Oh my god. Y'all help me with 23 right now. I can even remember 23. Power. I've got the power. Yeah. See, it's a forgettable song to me. But I still like it better than 24. Yeah. So see, that's the problem with Iceland. They have just forgettable entries lately. But it just has to be 23 for me. It just 24 just does not work for me. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yes, the people have spoken, and we speak together and say 23 is better. 81% say power is better. Okay. I love some people keeping score because it helps me because I didn't. Next up is I lost them. Oh, I got to type it up first. Latvia. I like both entries. And last year's is gosh. I forgot the name. I can sing it in my head right now, but give me the name, y'all. Give me the name from last year. Don't you? Sudden Lights. Thank you, Sudden Lights. I'm so bad with remembering names. That was a great song, and I have Latvia in my top 10 in the semis as well. Oh God, I have to pick 23 again. I just like 23 better. It was a good song. It was a good song. It was a solid song. Both these are solid. Well, I wouldn't put neither of them like at the top of my list. I like 23 better. So let's see. 3, 2, 1. You agree with me. 66% of y'all said 23. 33 say this year. So two versus 1. And we'll see here. Let me move on to the next one because I accidentally got out of my list when I was trying to look up the name of the other songs. So we're going to start a poll for the next country, and that one is Georgia. Well, I cannot pick 24 on this one because I don't even remember it. It's just like one of the most forgettable songs of the year for me. 23. Da 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 da. Y'all give me the name for 23. I know her. I see her. I see her singing. I see her standing, very static on the Eurovision stage. Echo. Thank you, Echo from last year. Ero with Echo. Yes. So I will pick that one though. Neither of them are like masterpieces in mine, but I liked Echo. She sang it well, and there was one of the most likable acts. I just gravitated towards her. So I will pick 23 based on my personal taste. So let's see if y'all agree or not. We're going to end the poll, and the poll is telling us that the vote will go to 2024. 54 versus 45. It's a close race, but no, I was overruled on this one. Oh, you darn. Okay, that's all right. At least it was close. So there's not a big agreement here. All right, who is next on my list? Albania. Albania was the family of, what's the family called from last year? And the twirling, oh, gotcha. What's their name? But I'm talking about, it was the family singing in Albania. And compared to this song, again, it's ironic that they come back to back here in my list here, is equally forgettable as Georgia. So I will, oh my God, I have to pick 23 again. Oh, somebody saying from Iro, she cried when she didn't qualify last year. I felt my heart was broken for Iro as well. It really, really sucked. Kelmendi, yes, family Kelmendi. I told you with names. I'm just like, it's always very embarrassing when I'm like at Eurovision, people come up. I'm like, I know your face, but your name could be anything. You know, I'm just really bad remembering names. I'm notorious. So let's take a look. 62% say 23. So it seems like most people agree that 23 so far has been a better year, huh? But maybe that could change. That could change. Let's bring up the next poll. Let's talk about Azerbaijan. So who do you think Azerbaijan, which song was better, 23 or 24? I can finally give Azerbaijan another 24, another point, because I prefer 24. 23 was just so non-existent, the song. I was just like, I keep forgetting. It was just two twins. People keep asking, the twins that were singing last year, that very Beatles-inspired song. Give me the name, y'all. Give me all the name from last year. But 23 was so boring that I just didn't care for it. This year, I like. It's a very soothing, nice song. So 24 is clearly, for me, the choice here. So I will pick 24. Turin and Tural. That was the name. Yes. I know they did that weird interview, like they not supposed to have sex right before Eurovision to save their voices, and then they broke the rules. I'm like, oversharing much? So yeah, that was slightly disturbing. Let's take a look at the poll results. Y'all agree with me. 65%. That was a significant difference here. Yeah. So I'm glad. I'm glad that I'm not alone here. I'm doing okay so far, with a couple of exceptions, of course. Okay. And after Azerbaijan, we have. Okay, interesting. We have France. I had both songs in my top 10, probably, although I haven't really done a top 10 yet for this one. But I have to pick 24. It touches my heart so much. He sings it so well. 24 is my yeah, so I don't have anything to say, but it has to be 24 for sure. End of discussion. So that doesn't mean I'm putting on last year's effort, because I really liked it as well, but two good songs. Okay, let's see. Let's see what y'all are saying. 62 to 37%. 24 wins your poll as well. It's not that close, actually. I thought it would be a little closer. But France is just, it makes me cry the way he sings it. I shouldn't get ahead of myself. I still think that this is the jury's winner, but we shall see. I just have a feeling. Ukraine is next. Love to hear your thoughts. As you saw already in my predictions, it's not in my top 10, and I really enjoyed their effort last year, which is Tvorchi, right? Heart of, I almost said heart of gold, heart of steel. That was a fantastic song, especially the revamp was out of this world. The staging was ridiculous, which is unfair. We don't have that for 24 yet, but just the song alone, for me, clearly 23. I love 23 again. And if you ask me tomorrow, it will be 23. If you ask me a year from now, it will be 23. So yes. Okay, so let's see. Am I being overruled by y'all? Don't piss me off again. Okay. 60% for 24. And with that, we'll end this live stream. Now, I get it, but Tvorchi was just so good. Loved it. The biggest, every year you have like your biggest grower. Ukraine was my biggest grower last year. So, yeah. At least, it's going to be interesting here. Let's move on. We're going to start a poll for... Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be another one-sided poll. But let's do it anyways, because, we're being fair. Croatia, 24. Are we done? Yeah, just vote. I know there will be a few people who vote for 23. bring it in. But to me, it's Baby Lasagna and his cat that he cruelly leaves behind and then sells his cow. And I'm like, why don't you sell your cat too then? But yeah, it's gotta be Baby Lasagna. Baby Lasagna. Here comes the poll. Y'all ready? Vote, vote, vote till you can no more. And I see a lot of cats in the chat. In the chat. Where's my dog, by the way? Oh, he's right here sleeping. Shh. Okay, so 87% say 24 and 12% say 23. Kind of what I was expecting. So landslide win here for Croatia. And I agree with the clear majority here, which is fun. I hate being the outsider here. All right, next one is Austria. Austria had Who is Edgar Allan Poe last year, and then Will Raving this year. To me, it's a pretty straightforward answer. I'm sure there's a few more disagreements here. Edgar Allan Poe was for me a little bit overhyped. I didn't quite get it. It was fun, but it was Poe, 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 Poe. So it was fun, but We Will Rave is my thing. That's my song. So for me, it is definitely 24 over 23, which is nice. I'm finally getting a few 24s in more. So would love to see what you all are saying. I have a feeling I'm being overruled again. Stop overruling me, y'all. Okay. 67% said 23. Only a third agree with me. That's right. I'm again in the minority, but all the other 32% that voted with me, I love you. I love you so much. Okay, so next one is Armenia. So Armenia is you do good, you do new. What was the name of the song again? I know she was on the platform and singing. What's her name again? I'll be you good, do you cuckoo. And I remember the staging was fantastic and that really made it pop. But in terms of song, I just like this year's Future Lover. My Future Lover. It's a good song. Don't get me wrong. It's a good song. But yeah, it's got to be 24 for me. 24. So I'm curious to see where this poll lands. Brunette. Give you 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Here comes the winner. Y'all think, oh my God, that was close. 51% at 24, 48% at 23. So we, by a hair, 24 wins by a hair. You agree with me. So this was the closest one. I mean, you can't get much closer than that unless you get a 50-50. Ha! But hey, in the end, only the win counts. Which is kidding, of course. Let's see the next one. Oh, that one. Oh, I started typing. I'm like, Luxembourg. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen unless we compare 1993 to 2024. So we're going to skip Luxembourg and we're going to move on to Germany. So Germany, I will say this. I'm not defending Germany per se, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be the song. I think it's a very radio-friendly song and I quite like it. Now, again, is it a televote-friendly song? Maybe it's a little bit too safe radio-friendly, but I like it. However, Blood and Glitter, that's my jam. So for now, I will have to vote 23. They were robbed last year, and the juries poo-pooed on them, and I am pissed. I mean, the televoters didn't give it much either. But yeah, it's Blood and Glitter for me. All right, let's see what y'all saying. 3, 2, 1. Voting's over. Okay, we've got 59% for 23 and 40% for 24. That's an acceptable outcome for me. See people saying neither. Yeah, I get it. It's not for everyone. I just didn't dislike either song. But yeah, 23 is certainly for me. Okay. Let's go. It's going to travel pretty far to the Australia. 23 versus 24. Last year we had the band. Names, people. Give me names. The band with a car. Not the -1. That was Cyprus 2016. Oh my God. What's the name of the band? I will not look at the chat. I'll figure it out on my own without looking at the. What was the song from 20? I know the song. I just don't know the name. Voyager. Dang it. I will never remember names. And then, yeah, of course, our song from this year. I will pick 23. Yeah. That's not, yeah, Voyager for me for sure. Loved Voyager. And I love them. I love their energy. I love their attitude. They're just a fantastic band. Fantastic. I almost feel like Australia peaked at that point. That's not true. That's so many good songs. But I just loved it. 23. Yeah. All right. So you all agree with me. 77% pick 23. 22 of you, not 22, 22% of y'all said 24. Okay. Moving on to the next poll. Let me bring up the box and then we look over. Where am I? Oh, okay. I'm curious about this one because I think there a case to be made for either song. It's Portugal. Mimi Cat from last year. I remember a name, but that's because I met her and I love her and I love the song. And this year is such a beautiful father song, but I refuse to vote for anyone but Mimi Cat. She's my queen. I love that song. I love the energy of it. And both songs, Portugal has 2 good songs in a row. And it comes down to personal taste, and Mimi Cat is my taste. So, Mimi Cat, bring it home. Y'all, how you gonna vote? If you can gonna overrule me, I'm telling you, heads will roll. No. Let's see here. 3, 2, 1. Yes. 23 wins with 58%. But again, this is not me making fun of this year. Gredo's a great song as well. You know, I love Mimi Cat. I just love her. I'm obsessed with her. And so yeah, 57 versus 42. I mean, once again, Portugal has a good problem by having 2, good songs in a row. All right, who do we have next? Okay, interesting. Ireland. Well, who is Matt going to pick? I have no idea. Tonight we are boring. What was the song again? We are one. So obviously I'm sticking with 24. Doomsday's Blues. That's just a. It's like. So yeah, it was such a dramatic difference here. For me, it's 24 all the way. So let's see what people are voting here. Let's see some of the comments. 24 for me, 24 by landslide. Girl, that bland ass band gets to 0. You're even worse than me. Okay, Ireland 23 for me. Both pretty awful. How dare you? How very dare you? Okay, let's see. What are you saying? 24 wins with 77% of the vote. A fairly one-sided result here. So let's see here. I'm going to scroll. Okay, the next one I have a feeling will be one-sided as well. And I think my opinion may be slightly controversial. But Lithuania is next up. And there are 2 really great entries. Maybe it's because the genre is up my alley, but I loved Monica's song from last year. And I like this one very much as well. But if I had to have a gun to my head, I would pick 23. And I would be in a clear minority here. That doesn't mean 24 is a bad song. It's a great song. I like them both. This is a stupid issue. See, sometimes I hate doing this comparison because it makes it sound like I don't like Look Tech. Because I do. I do. But Monica is just, her voice and the soul and so good. So yeah, sorry, I have to pick 23. So 3, 2, 1. Why do you have a feeling I'm losing on this one? 78% at 24. But I get it. This is one I cannot be mad over. I totally get this one. And I met her as well a couple of times actually. One in 2015 and in 23. She's great. It was really funny actually because when I told her I met her, and I asked the kind of question like, how do you have evolved as an artist that you were in 2015 to 23? And just kind of, I would like to ask you that question. How do you think I have evolved? And I'm like, you're asking me the question. And I had to answer it. And that was fun. I love that question that she just threw it back at me. But yeah, I understand why 24 wins here. All right. It's a shame I don't get to meet any of the artists this year, huh? Who is next? So we have Spain. Yeah, versus this year's song that I don't know the name of, but I'm sure you all know what it is. And I will pick 23 Yeah. I think it's a good song. It's not, it didn't do well in the televote, but I still think it's a well-performed song, and I like the Spanish soul that comes on the passion. I just really, really, really powerful. Let's see what y'all all saying. Yeah. Zoro so high. Why Zoro so high? Well, let's see. 3, 2, 1. Here you go. Oh, that was a close one. Again, I thought that 24 would get a bigger lead. It's 51 versus 48. Both songs, as somebody pointed out also in the chat, is yes, the Spanish people are very proud and excited about them, and that's all you can ask for. Even if the results may not be giving what you're looking for, I'm still concerned about 24 in particular. But yeah, I would have voted, and I mentioned yeah. So that's where we're at. Who is next? Oh yeah. You tiny, tiny, cute little San Marino. Do you want to vote for Megara this year, or you want to vote for the band that I forgot the name of from last year? Somebody give me the name from last year. I see the band. Very nice gentlemen, but the song just wasn't there. Peak Jacks. Thank you. Yes. So let me know which one you pick. I think my personal response earlier is self-explanatory. 24 by a mile. I love Megara's song, and it has to go through to the finals. So 24 is my vote. Y'all vote with me, y'all. Okay, 3, 2, 1. 74% agree with me. It's 24. So go Megara. I'm just I'm not crazy about the Spanish song this year, right? It's not my kind of jam, but I am excited about Megara. So there you go. That is where we're at. Who is next? We got some. Oh yes. Interesting. We have Belgium. It's Gustav from last year. Another thing, it said, if the world's gone and going crazy, I carry on. Yes, I had to think that for a second. And then, of course, this year, the party's over. Well, it's got to be the party's over. 24. Gustav, to me, is such a likable, personable person. The song was not to my liking. So this was a fairly easy one for me. 24 for sure. And let's see how y'all are voting. 3, 2, 1. It's 24 taking the lead, taking the cake. 66% versus 33 against 2/3 versus 1/3. I can agree with that outcome. Only fair. All right. So the next one is... Oh, that's going to be not that interesting. I think it's going to be a pretty obvious one, actually. Switzerland. Switzerland. I was actually one of the few defenders from last year, even though I didn't like the staging that much. I did like the song quite a bit. Wasn't one of my favorites, no, but I think it wasn't as bad as people make it out to be. I mean, it did qualify, right? The soldier, we are soldiers. This year, though, I mean, come on. It's got to be 24, right? Huh? I see a lot of people saying, I hate that water gun. I don't think it was that bad. But it's certainly 24 is better. Yeah, it's just more remarkable. All right. I think we all know the outcome of this poll, but let's look at it anyways. 81 versus 18%. So I think that's the biggest gap, right? Not too surprised, but hey, Switzerland qualified last year, so it wasn't that bad. It's just this year they have just so much to talk about. Okay, next one. That's going to be interesting. It's Norway. We all know that I'm not a big fan of the 24 song, but I was a big fan of Queen of Kings. Oh my God, that was so good. That was one of my favorites last year. So 23 is by a gazillion miles for me my favorite. It's still one of the songs I play all the time. So yes, she, Queen of the Kings. Da, 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 da. So I don't know if it's going to win in this poll, but we shall see. All right, we're done. I'm going to hit the end poll. Oh, I'm not boring you with all of this. We're almost done. Well, I got a few, like 7 or 8 more. 57% agree with me. Yes, we win. We win. I just love that song so much. So, but yeah, it is a interesting outcome here. 57 versus 42 here. Okay, let's move on. We have Poland. Well, last year's selection, we all know, was pretty controversial with the song Solo, right? No, I'm going solo. And not that I want to toot my own horn here, but since I mentioned it already, may as well toot toot. I told you it would do really well on the televote. People laughed at me when I said it would qualify from the semis, and it flew through. And I said it's going to do really well on the televote, and it was top 10 in the televote. Granted, the juries destroyed it, rightfully so, but I just knew it would do really well. But come on, The Tower is my song. So no competition here. I'm just gonna make the tower. La 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 la. I haven't learned all the words yet, but I love that song. I'm listening, by the way, because I'm so far behind in listening to the song. I've only listened to all the songs twice and some of them 3 times. So I still have some catching up to do. All right. Here we go. Poland, obvious result here, 67 versus 32%. 24 wins this one for me as well. So, are y'all ready for the next one? I am. After Poland, we have, oops, I'm making typos here. Ta-da! Greece this year. I mean, what was the young guy's name that performed last year? Sweet dude, but that song was just so unremarkable that I don't remember his name or the name of the song. I remember bits and pieces of the staging, but obviously it's got to be 24. Ta. Victor. Thank you. But yeah. So yeah, 24. Da or ta. Give you a few more seconds to vote. And here we go. Here are the results. Hope you didn't sleep. 73% agree with me. 24 takes the cake. So rightfully so. Okay, y'all. After Greece, we have, oh yeah, Estonia. Look, Bridges was a great jury bait song, and it was fine. Her voice was amazing, but the song did nothing for me emotionally. It was just an empty vessel. Beautifully performed, but it didn't touch me in any shape or form. This year, it's got to be 24. I mean, that song is just way more fun to me. So, yeah. 24 gets my vote, but we'll see. Vote for me. I see a lot of people saying 23 Alika Bridges, so maybe it'll be a close race here, huh? Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 57 vote for 24, 42% for 23. So it is a 15-point lead, which is enough for me. I was hoping for more, but I'll take it. I'll take it, y'all. Okay. So we got a few more left here, and then we give the score. Moldova is next. Last year, we had Pasha Parfeni, and then this year we had Natalia Barbu. And of course, it's got to be Pasha Parfeni. I mean, it's Pasha. It's Pasha, right? I think it's going to be a pretty one-sided poll as well, but we will see. I could be wrong. But yeah, to me, it is Pasha all the way, 23. Let's see here. 3, 2, 1. I think this is only other biggest gaps as well. 87 to 12% for 23. Not too much of a surprise. All right. We got only a handful of countries left. Are you ready? The next country that we need to compare, it had to happen eventually, is Finland. Is it cha-cha-cha or no rules? I think there is no contest here for me. It's cha-cha-cha. 2023. In my book, the winner. I know it's not, but hey, I stopped living in the past. Cha-cha-cha is for me. Let's see what y'all are saying. Both are in my top 10. Karya was robbed. Cha-cha-cha the king. Should be 100% on 23. Well, we shall see if that's the case. I'll give you 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. It's not 100, but it's 91 to 8%. So it's such a huge landslide here. Cha, 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 cha. We're still not over this, are we? So let's move on. That was the duh one. Let's see. Cyprus. Andrew Lembrou from last year versus Liar this year. It comes down to personal taste. I personally preferred Andrew's song in 23. I think he has a great voice, and he had a great stage presence, and I like the staging. So I will pick 23. I can see this one being a little closer. We shall see. Let's see. Vote, y'all. Vote. 3, 2, 1. Cyprus gets 57% for 2023. So the majority is agreeing with me. Yay. Wonderful. Both, but I'm biased as they're both Australians. I didn't know. Oh, there are lots of Australians in Cyprus. Okay. You're ready for the next one. And this one's tricky. It's the United Kingdom. So I wrote a song from last year. May Muller, and then this year we have Ollie Alexander, and I think most people will pick 23 would be my guess, but I'm leaning towards 24 because it's just more my music. I like them both. Both are really good. Both are really, even though the results weren't good last year, the song was still great. But Ollie Alexander's song is just, again, Pet Shop Boys meets Erasure to me, and that's like a perfect combo. And so I will vote 24. So let's see. You have 3 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. 65%. That's way more than I thought it would be for 24. So, yay. Good taste, y'all. But then May Muller, she's wonderful. So she had a great song. It's a disadvantage because we know her live performance at Eurovision, right? Which wasn't as ideal. But, it's just for fun anyways. Okay, next up. Italy, the country that sucks at Eurovision. 23, Dua Vitae, Marco Mengoni, and 24, we have, of course, well, I don't have to tell you which one we have for 24. And 2 fantastic entries. Good problem to have for Italy. But if I had to choose one, it's 24. Dua Vitae was also in my top 10. It was beautifully performed, but this is just a banger, 24. Oh, I still have this considering as a potential winner, 24. So absolutely. So they're both fantastic. So it's a tough choice. I'd love to see what y'all all picking. No. Lots of Marco love here. In the end, the poll, though, said that 24 gets the win from y'all. 65% That's a pretty decent margin there. But you know, once again, a good problem to have. They're both really, really good songs. So, y'all, you're ready. You're ready for the last one on the list. And it's the Netherlands. I know which one's going to win here with the public. 23 versus 24. Oh God, 23. That was the duo. What was the names again? Hansel and Gretel. What was the name? And the ballad. Um, Hansel and Gretel. Let's call them Hansel and Gretel. I just didn't click with that song. It was a little boring. This year, of course, Europapa. Despite all the things that I pointed out, I still like this one. Mia and Dion. That's what it was. Thank you. And yeah, it's 24 significant. Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. 3, 2, 1, go. 72% for 24. Yeah, an expected fairly large lead here for Europapa and Joost. So I can agree with that. So based on all of these 35 links, I can now say that I have 19 points for 2023 and 16 for 2024. So technically, 23 wins for me. Ah, all right. Yeah, interesting. But it's not always a fair comparison. It doesn't mean 23 is better than 24. It's just based if you only compare each song from each country next to each other. So it's not the only way. So yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's the other way around for the channel. Really? Interesting. So I have 19 for 23 and 16 for 24. The channel has 16 for 23 and 19 for 24. Ha! How funny, huh? Yeah. Can you please reveal the final table somewhere someday? You know what, Alibox? It's a good question. Do the polls stay in YouTube in the thing? If I can pull them later, I will. I just did this, on the side for fun. I didn't realize it would be that involved in so much engagement. So that is interesting. So yeah. That is what we had here. So I would love to use the last few minutes, the opportunity to open up the floor for any questions you may have about the upcoming Eurovision Song Contest, anything, the songs, coverage, anything. You have a few more minutes. And as always, you need to make sure you put at ESC United so I know you're talking to moi. So let's get this going. And this is a very good point you're raising here. Oops, I'm in the wrong window here. It's an unfair comparison because we haven't seen the staging yet for 24. And that is absolutely correct. That's why I would just I personally base my decision on the studio version, not the staging. It's hard because you can't completely ignore the staging, but I'll do my best. So how do you think Spain will fare? Patu, and this is a night of honesty. I'm very honest, and I talked about that on Twitter or X a couple of weeks ago. I am worried about Spain, only because I am worried that the song just doesn't have the appeal outside the Spanish fan base and some Eurovision Bubbles fans. I feel as vocally, it's not very challenging. Melodically, it doesn't have a whole lot to offer, and I've only showed it to a handful of people outside the Eurovision bubble, and nobody liked it. So I am a little worried about Spain's odds, but I do know that Spanish fans don't care. And that is good. It's a great attitude to have because if you love the song, who cares about the results? If you're passionate and excited about it, then that's the most important thing. But yeah, in terms of results, I'm a little concerned. Is there a live stream for London tonight? No, they don't do live streams for these performances. I know Barcelona has done it in the past. I don't know if others are doing it, but I know that London is not doing it, I was told. What staging are you most excited for? Let's take a look at some of the songs. So I'm really excited about San Marino. I'm Switzerland, of course. Switzerland, I'm super excited about because that could be a difference of being a contender to like just being somewhere in the top 10. So Switzerland is really high up there. I'm super curious about San Marino. I'm also interested randomly in Germany only because they're putting also a great team to do the staging. So I'm curious what they're going to come up with. They're always known to do good stuff. And the UK, of course. The UK I'm really interested into as well. So there are a lot of staging I'm curious about. And we'll see how it's going to go. Now that you had a few weeks with all the songs, have your opinions changed on any songs from your first impressions? So I am the kind of person, I don't have a strong swing in my opinions when I listen to songs. Like, it's not like, oh, I really like the song. Now I don't. No, I don't have that. If anything, as we say in German, schön hören, like you get used to songs. I do have some growers, to be fair. Like, there are no songs that I like that I don't like anymore. That thing doesn't happen to me. But I will say Lithuania in particular, the second time I listened to it, I was like, okay, this is actually really good. This is actually quite good. So that was the one that probably the biggest growth for me, where it changed my opinion, as you can say. And a little bit about Latvia as well. To a lesser extent, but still good. So, is there any news about press access yet? Depending on what your definition is of press access. So a lot of the online press folks that requested online access have been given online access. Those who want on-site access, we probably have another week or so, 10 days. I think last year we got it around April 17th or so. The EBU, since they've taken over the responsibilities, take their sweet time. They don't really are concerned about people booking flights and hotels. They just do it on their own terms. So we have not heard anything yet in regards to that, if that is your question. Do you trust SVT to give us a good show? Yes, I do trust SVT to do a good show. I know there's a lot of controversy around, or like talking about, Sweden won again because of the juries, blah, 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 unfair, whatever. Let's put that aside, right? SVT knows how to stage a show, and they know how to make it fun. And I even remember in Stockholm, I mean, I was in Malmo as well in 2013, but especially Stockholm, that was so much fun. That was one of my favorite Eurovisions. So not just the show itself, but just the whole shenanigans around it, the Euro Club, and all the other stuff that happened. I had the most fun that year ever. So I have no doubt in my mind that SVT will put up on a kick-ass show. Matt, any live streams the first week? Well, Kim, that's a very good question, which I shall answer now once I had a little bit more tea. Tea that is super cold and disgusting now, but I still need to drink it. Yes, the short answer is yes. We will be live streaming every single day starting rehearsals. Even though we can't be there, we can still get impressions from inside the arena and talk it through here. So we'll be online for hours and hours. I will be around. My team will be around. So starting rehearsals, we still have daily live streams here, even the close ones. So be here, please, and be notified. Make sure you hit that notification button on YouTube so you know when we are live. But we'll also schedule them in advance. So don't you worry. Don't you worry. We got to work with what we have, right? I've been rewatching your rehearsal live streams from last year. I know. I never rewatch my stuff, of course, because it's awkward seeing yourself on camera, especially the ones where I'm really goofy. But I'm glad there's still like some value in watching them. How would you rate this year and last year from a scale to 1 to 10? This is a question I get frequently, maybe not in the same kind of phrasing, but which year do you like the best? And it's a very difficult thing to rate because when you're there personally, there are different things. Are you just talking about the song quality? Are you talking about the actual live show? Are you talking about all the shenanigans around it? So every year has its strength and weaknesses. I do think that in terms of song quality, based on the ranking, maybe I like 23 slightly better. But again, this is not a fair comparison the way I did it. I think that in 23, I had, I'm trying to think. No, I had some strong favorites. So I don't know if I have them this year. So that makes a little difference. I have a lot more songs that I like, I think. So yeah. Can you wait for the live streams? Can't wait. Can you wait for the live streams? No, I cannot. Can wait for the live stream. Almost more fun than watching the actual show. Well, that is the biggest compliment that somebody can give me. So the pressure is on. Yeah. It's also then, I mean, I mentioned it before, but it for multiple reasons. We don't know yet because we haven't any accreditation approved yet. But assuming everything goes according to plan, we'll have a team locally in Malmo, including Gabe and Roy and Melanie and some other folks. I will not be there in person, unfortunately. Number one, I had some health issues and I decided to not push myself. And number two, I do not to get too political, but I do not feel safe to go enough. So I decided to cover the contest here remotely this time around. It's sad, and it's the first time I'm missing it in a very, very long time. So it bumps me out a little. But we'll have live coverage there with plenty of people, so don't you worry. Which songs are possible shock and Q in each semi, in your opinion? Shock is, of course, subjective, right? Let me go back to my... I could see a world where would Serbia be considered as shock non-qualifier? That would be my biggest non-qualifier shock in the first semi. In the second semi, Austria. Those would be the two I pick that I currently consider qualifiers and not go through. But again, things could happen a lot in between. Whoops. The German Eurovision account posted 2 snippets of a revamped German entry on the Instagram. Do you think that is the thing that Germany needs? So, Frock, number one, I haven't listened to it yet. Is it also confirmed that this is the one that they used for Eurovision? I'm curious to hear it. I stand by what I said. I think Germany is a little bit overlooked. The song's been played on Belgian and Dutch radio, and it is a lot more accessible than some of the other songs. Now, once again, the question is it enough for people to vote for it, right? That is what it comes down to. But I do see a good amount of jury points. Not a lot, but enough. Because if this song would have been Swedish, it would have gotten a lot of points from the juries. So yeah. So what do you think of chances of Ireland's chances of qualifying? See you in the grand final. That's another hill I'm willing to die on. And yeah, if I'm dead at the end, so be it. But no, Ireland will qualify. Done. Let's not even talk about it. I said it earlier. So we did that one already. Do you have a song you did not like at the beginning, but then it grew into you? I think I mentioned just like a few minutes ago. I think the one that I apply the most here is Lithuania. I wouldn't say I didn't like it in the beginning. I just know I got all these comments like, well, Lithuania is so good and you're going to love it. And then I listened to it and I'm like, it's good. I don't know if it's that good. And then listening to the second time and the beat got me really. So it's definitely, if I have to pick one, it's Lithuania. Do you think ABBA will show up? No. No, I don't think they will. They never show up. And if they do, it may be like parts of ABBA. And I don't know, with the current controversy surrounding the contest, I don't know if they feel it's the right thing to do, which sucks because it's their 50th anniversary. But my gut feeling tells me no. Yeah. What do you think of Greece's vocals? I have a strong feeling that her live performance will have her skyrocket in the odds. So I have not really listened to her live. I don't know her live vocals. But isn't Greece already in the top 10 in the betting odds? I think they're going to do really well. So I will have to listen to her live vocals. The song itself, though, doesn't seem to be a song where you require amazing vocals to begin with. So this is not a vocally heavy song because it's ta, 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 ta. I could do that. But yeah. Do you think San Marino will be able to make it to the final? Yes, I said, and I'll stand by that. I think San Marino, I would call a likely qualifier as of right now. Not a guaranteed, but likely. I love every time I want to emphasize something, I get closer to the microphone. Like it makes a difference. Has Europapa grown on you yet? I don't know if it has grown on me. I always said I appreciate certain aspects of it. That's why I have it as I put it in my top 10 in that summer. It has to go through to the finals. I still don't think that this will be the song that I will be like, oh, that's gonna have to do well. But I do have fun with it. That's how I feel about it. It's a fun song, and it's just not as outrageously good as some of the other ones in my book. Which country do you think will drop in the odds when rehearsals start in Malmö? Here comes it again. Pissing people off left and right. Ukraine and Sweden. I do think that Ukraine will qualify, of course, but I don't think it has a shot at winning. And I think that'll be reflected in the betting odds. And Sweden currently is already in 10th in the betting odds, so it may drop out of the top 10. Would be my thinking. Those would be the ones. So is Sean involved in 24? So Sean, as you all know, our dear beloved Sean has relocated from the UK to Canada, the West Coast actually, and his life has changed completely. So he is no longer part of any sort of Eurovision prep for 24 or anything like that. We're still talk all the time, so we have our chat going, but no, he's not involved, and he's just going to be a normal casual viewer. His life is just taking a different route, and I am happy for him. But yeah, so he's not involved at all, unfortunately. Maybe one day he'll return, but that all is still up in the air. I know people are sad. I miss him too. I'll let him know that you all miss him. He became a monk. Not quite. What do you think of the changes in the rules for the televote? What are the changes? Okay, now you're catching me off guard. Was that something that happened while I was gone? Because I'm not aware of any changes. The only thing I know is 100% televote in the juries. 100% televote in the juries. It's 100% televote in the semis, and that there's the rest of the world vote. So other than that, I do not know aware of any changes. Oh, voting started at the beginning of the show. Oh, okay. I did know that. It seems so insignificant to me. We've done it before a few years back, and it made no difference really. So I do not anticipate this having a major impact. It is such a minor thing. So yeah, I don't have a strong opinion on that one. Whatever. Did Sean sell his cow? I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, got it. Yeah, well, and he's missing his cat. I don't know if he has a cow or a cat. Meow, meow. He seems more like a dog person to me. I don't even know. So, I think that's it for today. This was so much fun, just chatting about silly stuff like our rankings, because there wasn't that many news in the Eurovision world, but I'm glad that we all got to talk about this anyway. Now I got to think about stuff for our next live stream for next week. So let me know what your thoughts are. Before hang on, he's playing with. Say good night, Gaston. Say good night. All right, he's kind of like, now he's out of it. So he was like running around, and now he's all shy. So y'all have a good night or a good day or wherever you are, and just make sure to follow me on Twitter or on Facebook, I guess. And I started using Instagram more, so I'll try to be involved in that as well. Everywhere, Matt ESC United, if you want to find me. And until then, okay, have a good day. Bye.